Hey everyone, this is Julie and welcome to my SOFHAB review series. Today I'm covering the original novel of Howl's Moving Castle, as you know, my favorite Studio Ghibli movie.
Yay.
And joining me none other is Rascal Entertainment.
Yay! Hello!
So this is a celebration of March 20th spring and other things. And since you know how much I love this Ghibli movie, and Rascal ended up getting me the original novel from the library, thank you, just to find out how it compares to the film. Now it turns out it's very different from the movie, and as Rascal put it, it's more of like inspiration for Miyazaki's version.
Right.
But
before we start, be sure to like, subscribe, and click notification for the additional SOFHAB reviews and so much more.
And thank you so much for joining us today, subscribing, sharing our videos, commenting, everything you do specials. We appreciate you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
So this is something that I've been wanting to do for a little while because we actually read this book at least a month ago, maybe about a month ago. And I was really excited about it because probably like a lot of people who haven't read the novel but seen the movie, I assumed it was the same. Well, it isn't. And there are some pluses and minuses for that. But all in all, the novel itself is something different from anything else I've read. It stands out, and it definitely fills the niche for a certain genre that people would like to read.
Yes.
But it's not the movie, and that's for sure.
That's right. And really didn't know that going in. The closest we got is that there were a couple people we watched as viewers who had actually both watched the movie and read the book. And for one of them, they said they prefer the book. Movie was good, but they liked the book better probably because it was the first that they read and because it had more of the magic element that it was the core part of it, while the film was more fantastical. But for us, it really was a shock reading the book and seeing the major differences. And we have come to love the movie so much. You know, Mama is always like, oh my gosh, it's Howl.
Yeah.
And the book is just like almost every page was a surprise because there were some things we remember from the movie we expected, and then some surprises when we got to certain chapters.
Very true. So for those not familiar with Howl's Moving Castle, the novel, it's a fantasy novel, but really more magical to us, by British author Diana Wynne Jones. Now, it was first published in 1986 by Greenwillow Books of New York, and guess what? This is the 40th anniversary, so we'll be showing you a picture of the anniversary edition, and you're going to be surprised by that as well. Now, this originally was a runner-up for the annual Boston Globe Horn Book Award, and it also won the Phoenix Award 20 years later, so in 1986, 2006.
Right.
And of course, it was adapted into the Studio Ghibli animated film of the same name in 2004, which was nominated for the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature.
Wow.
So it's really the first of a series of books called the Howl series that she's written. And the series also includes Castle in the Air, published in 1990, and House of Many Ways, published in 2008. So this is her most notable work. And we're not going to get any sequels to the movies. That's pretty obvious. It's been quite a while, and Miyazaki hasn't done it, which is okay because this movie is perfect. So we're going to point out to you the differences, and then you can decide whether you want to read the novel or watch the movie or do both. I want to say if Jeb Whiskers happens to be watching this, you would definitely love the novel more than the movie. Us knowing you would definitely love the novel.
Right.
So as Rascal pointed out, the movie itself is very fantastical. The novel itself, however, is steeped in witchcraft. There's no other way to put it, and they use the word themselves. It's steeped in witchcraft, and they do a lot of spells and conjuring and things that definitely would not have fit into a movie that Miyazaki would want for all ages. And that was the first surprise because we were expecting just to be fantasy and Howl flying and little things happening in the moving castle. And no, it has a much darker tone than the movie itself. The second thing I'll point out, and then give Rascal a chance to point some things out, is the castle itself. Now you're going to see something coming up where the author says she liked Miyazaki's adaptation. It wasn't what she would have done, but she liked it. But we also got to watch behind the scenes. And if we have found that, you'll be seeing it come up where she says her castle doesn't have any legs.
Right.
And so when she saw his castle being designed similar, but really not the same, and with legs and clunking and moving, she was just speechless because this is not how she pictured it. But it works.
Right.
Now for us, we loved it because it's different than anything else you've ever seen in any movie,
right,
in any book. And the fact of knowing that she did not come up with this design,
right,
and her idea was different is even more incredible because he took her concept art and made something truly unique. And her name stamped on it. How fabulous is that?
Right. And that's very true because everything in the movie is so unique to itself that anytime anyone references it, you automatically know what they're talking about. Now, when you get to the book itself, the names are pretty much the same. The setting is the same.
And this in a fictional monarchy called Ingary,
yes,
where the capital is Kingsbury.
Right.
And you see some pictures coming up now from places in England that inspired the look of the setting.
Right. And there are actually a couple people that have actually tried doing animations with the more book accurate version of the story, where they show the designs of the characters and really bringing to life how they actually look in comparison to the movie. And people were kind of stunned because the original book did not have any illustrations. It's all wording. And later versions that they make for anniversaries, they've added illustrations to show more of what the characters look like described in the original novel. And it's very fun because it was fun seeing how Sophie was different, how Howl was very different, how Calcifer was different. He said the castle, the scarecrow. It was like you were seeing a reboot with the movie, but yet this one still managed to capture your attention and you're still engaged in the story. It even starts off very differently from the movie, where it starts from the middle.
Absolutely.
And they actually show Sophie's life before she gets cursed by the witch.
And they show her sisters and they show her stepmom. You mentioned Calcifer. I want to touch on that. In the book, he's huge. And I think it was a good idea making him smaller for the movie because you found him adorable and you got to hear Billy Crystal's wisecracking. If he had been large, it may not have been as attractive, or it might have been scary for younger children who were watching it, because clearly the Miyazaki movie is for all ages.
Right.
Also, Sophie's mom in the book was her stepmom, and she kind of was like not a nice stepmom.
Yeah.
But in the movie, it's insinuated that it's just her mom.
Yeah.
And then they only focus on one sister in the movie.
The most, yeah.
But she has two sisters. In the book, there are three of them.
Right.
And you find out more about how this is her lot in life. One is considered very beautiful and all the guys want to see her. One's considered very smart, and this is just considered what Sophie is going to assume to do in the book. So she kind of has like a bleak outlook in terms of what they expect and want for her. And then you get to the other half of the book, as you mentioned, and then along comes Howl and her life changes.
Right.
So I think it was great Miyazaki started there instead of bringing in the bleakness. Also in the novel, we need to point out that there are actual unalives that take place.
Yes.
And in the movie, of course, there are none. No one gets taken out. There's a happy ending for all. And there's growth of character. In the novel, no. Howl is a bratty, pretty boy.
Oh my god.
Who wants his way all the time.
Right. He's
And
spoiled, I guess.
yes, and he is insufferable in the book. Whereas in the movie, it's like, oh, Howl.
He's got charm until you see parts of him that are
Yes.
unpleasant to deal with.
But the writer herself says she's gotten plenty of letters from girls and women who want to marry Howl and date Howl. So it's funny that even though they kind of are different, they were able to still relate and be attracted to Howl in the version he is in the book. The witch gets taken out, unlike in Howl's Moving Castle, the movie.
Right. She loses her powers and reforms in there.
And also in the book, you find out Howl has a sister, and a mom,
Mm-hmm.
and aunts and other relatives
Right.
that are not touched on at all in the movie.
Right. The only one they ever mentioned was that he got the main house from his uncle. He inherited it, and that was about it. That is it. But that is very true.
So quickly, I want to go back to the castle. In the book, it's described as a tall black building with 4 thin black turrets, and it seems to be made of coal, and you don't know how it's holding itself together. It seems to have 4 doors on the outside, although 3 are made inaccessible by an invisible wall. And in the movie, you have like a 4-color turning disc that when it turns, there's a different view and a different location when you open it, which was pretty brilliant. I love it. And in the book, the locations are the moving castle in the hills above Market Chipping green, and Port Haven blue, and Kingsbury red, and in Wales black. Now, after Howl is forced into hiding, he changes the door's destinations to Market Chipping yellow, Vale Inn orange, a garden in the waste purple, and in Wales black. So I think that's pretty interesting how Miyazaki tended to use that.
Yes.
So quickly, we want to say the things that are good, that are the same. Shout out to the characters and move on. So the things that are the same, it's an interesting, engaging story. It's different than anything you've seen, just like the movie. It's got characters that have depth and are interesting, and they're believable. It's got such a wonderful descriptive way of writing that you can picture it. Even I think if you hadn't seen the movie, you would still be able to picture a lot. You wouldn't picture Howl as gorgeous as he is, and you wouldn't picture Sophie as cute and adorable, and you definitely wouldn't picture her like she turns when she's 90, and things like that. But I think you would still be able to use your imagination and come up with something wonderful in your head. So we definitely recommend you read it.
Yes.
If you're into magic, dark themes, if you're into good storytelling, if you just want to see what the difference is between the movie and the book, we definitely recommend you read it. If you're someone who doesn't like the tales of witchcraft and you don't like darker themes where there's people being eliminated, this book probably won't be for you. It has a different ending than the movie, and there's actually a different reveal for the scarecrow as well. But we do recommend you read it.
Right.
So we have Sophie Hatter, who's the main protagonist, along with Wizard Howl, which is what he's called in the book.
Right.
You have Calcifer, and he's called a fire demon in the book.
You're right.
You have Michael Fisher, we didn't mention. In the book, he's 15 years old, but in the movie, he's a little kid that's adorable, and you know they end up keeping him as their child.
Right.
You still have the Witch of the Waste, Letty and Martha Hatter, and Fanny Hatter, which is the stepmom, Mr. Hatter's second wife. You still have the King of Ingery, Prince Justin, and you have some other characters that are not mentioned in the movie. So again, it should be really interesting. You had it adapted, as we mentioned, into a Ghibli film. There also was a radio broadcast performed by Julia McKenzie and Dakota Blue Richards, and that was done in 2021, believe it or not.
Really?
There have been stage play adaptations as well as a musical. 2012 for the theatrical adaptation, musical in 2017, and a German language stage adaptation in 2018. Wendy Graham, who of Adventure magazine, and she stated, as with most Diana Wynne Jones fiction, is far too good for kids. She is quite simply the best at what she does. It's not a children's book, so if you have young children, we recommend you do not allow them to read it. Because it's not like the movie. And if you want your children to be exposed to Ghibli and this wonderful creation, this is the movie to go to, but we definitely do not recommend you allow them to read the book.
Right.
So if you've read Howl's Moving Castle, the novel, or even seen the movie, let us know in the comments. What's your opinion between the differences between the novel and the movie? Which do you like better? Which would you recommend? Or do you like both? Of course, we recommend you watch the movie. It's my favorite. My choice, of course, is going to be the movie. And it could be just because I've seen it first, but I don't think so. I think it's because of the differences and how Miyazaki made it for everyone and made it a joy and a romance and fantasy and all the things you want in a Ghibli movie.
Exactly.
And then when you either read and or watch the movie, Jeb Whiskers, come back and tell us what you think.
Right. And be sure to like, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get these and SOFHAB reviews and so much more on the channel.
Yes, and thank you so much for joining us, Rascal. And thank you for joining us again. As always, you are specials.
Thank you so much for watching. I'm Rascal.
I'm Julie.
Have a fantastic day.
Continue to be happy, healthy, whole, and also wonderful, my specials. See you next time, and happy spring.
Sophie must break 2 curses, rescue a lost prince, save the head wizard, and of course defeat the Witch of the Waste. Read Diana Wynne Jones's funny and charming story, Howl's Moving Castle.